England versus Scotland, Calcutta Cup 2025. Scotland are going to do it 5 times in a row.
It's the big one.
It's the big one.
It's the big
Agree?
show.
Yes or no?
Heart says yes. I won't let you know what the head says.
Why are you so nervous now then? What's happened? What's been the shift?
Jimbo, the injuries. Mate, I was, like you, very confident at the beginning of the Six Nations. Scott Cummins in there, Darcy Graham. We're yet to find out. We're going to talk about the team in a second, but Darcy Graham, Carl Stein out injured, Sione Tuipulotu. Like, there's been some big injuries, and I just think we might struggle with the power. England's bench and the power they've got is pretty big, and they're suddenly buoyed from that game against the French. So hopefully it works in our favour. The French had an off day. England weren't as good as we think they were, and we go and do the job.
Maybe that's what it is then. Maybe we are blinded by just seeing the W on the stamp after the game. The fact that England beat France. Any other day, France win that game, whatever that means. And for us, it was a bit of a shocker. People talk about the start of the game against Ireland. We never stood a chance. Who knows? Could have, should have, would have.
And Ireland a different gravy.
And Ireland are a different gravy to England. Okay, so a little bit of context. I was the same as you in the lead up to the week and last week. I thought, I'm not feeling right about it. But the team's just come out. You've not seen the team.
I've not.
We've just recorded the podcast, which will be out.
Make sure you check it out.
Spotify, the Big Jim Show. So the team's come out. Guess the team, Scotland's team for me, because let me say this. England have made one change, which we thought would happen. Ollie Chesham's coming to the second row ahead of George Martin, who's moved to the bench. So they've now got a settled team in what they're doing.
That is, and how early did they name it?
Well, that's what they're doing now, yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
Yeah, I like it as well. But it's also, I feel like saying to Scotland, we won last week. We're going the same team. We've got one little change in there. We're doing this.
Scotland's biggest problem, and Gregor's biggest problem for me, has been his team selection and not really knowing his best 15 and changing the captain all the time. That's been the Achilles heel.
But at the beginning of this Six Nations, we had it. And now it's been decimated with injuries.
So for the first time, you could have named Scotland's team. We had the captain nailed down, and then that's been broken apart. So there's a few changes to the team.
Right, okay.
There isn't.
There's not. I'm going to.
You name the team then.
Xander Fagerson.
Xander Fagerson at 3.
Oh, sorry, yeah, other way around. So we'll start Schumann.
Yep.
Cherry, Fagerson, Grant Gilchrist and Johnny Gray. Fagerson, Darge and Dempsey in the back row.
No.
Oh.
Jamie Ritchie.
For who?
Matt Fagerson's on the bench.
Okay, I see why Tooney's maybe doing that. Going for bring some power off the bench, because Jamie Ritchie doesn't bring you any power. He goes for turnovers, and that's great, and maybe there's a kicking game, but Fagerson will bring you power. Mate, he has been next level this season.
Let's go through the team and we'll unravel it.
Ben White.
Yes, sir.
Finn Russell.
Great. We knew he was going to be fit.
Tom Jordan.
Yes.
Hugh Jones. Is Darcy Graham fit?
No, thankfully.
So Kyle Rowe.
I say thankfully, as in
yeah,
I don't
they're
want
not
him to
pushing
be
it, not forcing it. I agree.
Kyle Rowe,
Duhan van der Merwe and Blair Kinghorn.
Yeah, good start in 15. I'm a big fan of Kyle Rowe. I agree with you with Jamie Ritchie starting with a bit of power off the bench and the fact that Finn's fit. So as good as it could have been, there was whispers of Darcy Graham being fit, and he passed HIA. You don't want to see him play. Like, he needs... That was a horror of an injury, which we're not going to talk about. There's no point. Let's just talk about the makeup of the team.
All right, give me the bench then.
The bench is Ewan Ashman, Rory Sutherland, who's been good, Will Hurd, Sam Skinner, who Gregor Townsend clearly likes, Gregor Brown, Matt Fagerson, Jamie Dobby and Stafford McDowell, so 6-2.
It's a big call again. You're never going to have touch and whistle, but that obviously shot us in the foot, having that 6-2 split against Ireland. So you hope that won't... You've got to have a tactic when you've got a 6-2 split. And my only thing with someone like Sam Skinner, you look at the South Africans, you look at the Irish, you look at the Leinster when they bring on their 6-2 split, there's power. I mean, does Sam Skinner really bring you power?
Well, this is the thing with the England bench. So you've got Chandler Cunningham-South, who we haven't seen much of.
But power.
You've got George Martin, who is powerful, big defender, big hitter. You've got Ben Curry. But you've got Harry Randall and Elliot Daly on the bench. So their bench with Joe Hayes, Finn Baxter, who was good. against France, and Jamie George, who is going to be making his 99th cap, I think. So it feels different, does it, to when we played against Ireland, right? Or if you play against France or a South Africa or a New Zealand, because it's so weird, isn't it, how we've shifted our mindset?
But it's good because we get this label against Ireland. The Irish press go, "Oh, they're fucking arrogant." Well, we ain't arrogant.
That's your fault.
We've won 4 on the bounce against England. We should be going, this is going to be easy.
But this is where the psyche and the psychological thing comes, because Ireland were telling us we were arrogant before that game. Us as Scots have gone into this humble mode and said, we can't beat England. They're better than us. Unravel, really. Okay, so the game against Italy, England's game against Ireland, where they were good for parts. I've always said that this England team are better than the results have shown.
Yeah.
The second half's been poor. The bench has come on and they've moved Marcus Smith around.
Mate, I always said Marcus Smith needs to be further out so he gets more space. I would even put him at 12.
You know what?
Finn Smith and Marcus Smith at 12.
Do you know what? Anthony Watson was at the live show last night and said about moving Marcus to 13.
Yeah, well, he gets more space. What does he do? He breaks the line. He gets a second set of hands. He distributes ball. And that's what you see all... You look at Glasgow with Tom Jordan. And the same will happen with Finn and Tom. 10 and 12, both distributors, but Tom can run. Finn can run as well, but Tom can try and make line breaks. Marcus Smith, for me, makes line breaks.
Yeah,
so
maybe, actually, let me just go back on that. It might have been a fan who said that, and Anthony Watson kiboshed it. There was a conversation last night. It was a late night.
He was obviously drunk. You told me you weren't drinking.
I weren't drinking. There was a lot
I don't mind that. I think that's good. So, yeah, there's a lot of power there for England, and they are suddenly thinking maybe they're better than they are. That's what I hope, anyway.
But you had a feeling that you think your heart says Scotland, which makes me think your head says England. And at the beginning of the week, I was worried, okay? But actually, shoulders back.
Come on.
I'm looking at, like, the team. So you think of the Scotland team, like, we are settled. Rory Darge, we were talking him up, okay? The battle of the breakdown, him versus Tom
Finn
Curry.
has a good game.
Finn needs a good game.
And we'll have a good game.
And he will have a good game. Ben White has been very good for Scotland. Okay, Tom Jordan, we were talking him up like a mofo before that game against Ireland. He's a wicked player. We don't know if he's world class. He's definitely international class. He's in this position. We never saw him against Ireland playing at 12 against. But he's been training all week against Bundy Aki, then gets moved to 10, and everything's out of sync, and we're fucked. Okay, Blair Kinghorn, we haven't seen him. Plays at Toulouse, been a standout player for them. You know what I mean? Friend of the Scrum to Scratch
You're right,
show.
mate. You're right. Do you know
So
what?
here
You're
we
absolutely
go.
right. Last week has knocked us. It's knocked our
has.
confidence. And we're not going to let it knock our confidence.
Yeah, and we're Scottish, by the way.
And we're Scottish. We will not let that knock our confidence. We will beat the English. Because you're right, Jim. We played against a fucking good Ireland team last week. We had a terrible injury to 2 of our best players that took them out of the game. Suddenly everyone's moving around and we played an Ireland team that can just shift through the gears. Whereas this week, we're back.
There, I'm a boy.
Scotland are back.
We've got it.
Finn will be pulling the strings. All I need from you, Hugh Jones, is 3 or 4 touches of the ball, because when he has 3 or 4 good touches of the ball, what does he do? He
scores and makes breaks.
He scores and makes breaks.
So with this, right, again, chatting to Anthony Watson, his worry, the England worry, is the back line.
They're
you
worried.
think about how well the backs have played and the type of defence that England have. If England defend how they want to defend and how they've always defended against Scotland, Finn's unlocking it, right? We know that. He's up against Ollie Lawrence at 12, his club teammate who will know more about him. But this is Finn Russell, who we know is the best 10 in getting the ball to the wide channel with a kick pass, which we've not seen, or the wide pass when we've seen the overs line. That one of the most wonderful tries we've ever seen in the Six Nations.
I ran a good down line.
Oh, you played in that game.
You should have seen the down line.
But that was the moment. That down line was the moment that Scotland unlocked England.
Yeah, and it took the defender just in, and that's where Hugh went through the hole. Okay. You're welcome, Scotland.
And yes, but you look at England, right? So yes, they're talking about the shift in defence and stuff like that, but with Henry Slade, who's actually been named at 12, and Ollie Lawrence at 13, maybe that's just a typo from the England rugby.
No, that's how it works. I think Ollie Lawrence prefers 13.
But maybe they do shift them around. I don't know, or maybe I don't know what it is. But Ollie Lawrence is 12. Henry Slade's been playing 13. That's been the makeup of it. But they'll need to do something differently defensively if Scotland want to play how we know what they want to play. But the big thing will be, when you tell me what does Scotland need to do, get on the front foot. Who have we got?
Yeah, I said not overplay early on. Like, don't overplay early on. Just build your way into the game. Because when that Ireland game got away from us, I did start to worry. And then Finn and Darcy, and we had that patch where we pulled it back in. But just don't let it get. No one needs another 38-38 moment, do they? No one needs that again. Like when they just run away with it and then we claw them back. Build into the game nicely. Get onto the front foot.
Tell the viewers about Carl Rowe.
Mate, what a journey that bloke's had, by the way. He was obviously let go by London Irish. Didn't have a job. I think, and was it before or after he went to the Sevens? Then that got patched, and he didn't have a job again. I think he had a job at an Amazon warehouse or something weird like that, and then found his way back into rugby. Managed to get a contract, and he's been outstanding for Glasgow. And again, with all the wingers you've got in there, I mentioned Carl Steyn. Obviously, for me, Carl Steyn probably starts ahead of one of Dewey or Darcy because of the experience he brings from Glasgow, being the captain of the URC, but Carl Rowe can do a job as well. So, he should go well as well. We need him to go well. We need the boys to go well. We need Dewey to have another big one as well. Duhan van der Merwe needs to have another big game.
Like he does against England. If you were to look at this, right, the two teams side by side, right, and you were to name England's world-class players versus Scotland's world-class players, there's a decent balance there. I'll name the players that I think that England are world-class. I think Ollie Lawrence is world-class. I think Marcus Smith is world-class, but is struggling to find where his position is. Tom Curry.
World-class, yeah.
World-class.
Yeah. He was ridiculous last week.
I'd say the only one, Maro Itoje. You could say Ellis Genge on his day, but I would say world-class, probably guaranteed, apart from Marcus, guaranteed Lions players would be them 4 or 5. But we've got world-class players now.
Xander.
Yeah.
Darge.
100% agree. Rory Darge is world-class.
Well, I'm putting Faggy in there, Matt Ferguson, at the moment. I genuinely like from what he does, but I know where we're going. We're going Finn, definitely. Are we going from just the players that are available? Because Sione is obviously...
Sione's there. Who are playing? Hugh Jones is world-class.
Shuggy, yeah. Hugh Jones.
Duhan van der Merwe.
When he gets going.
Not the Edinburgh Duhan van der Merwe.
The Scotland Duhan van der Merwe. And then we know Blair King on for Toulouse in the way he's been. You're right, we've not seen anything from Blair because Italy didn't really need to do a huge amount and Ireland, he just didn't get the ball. Could be a big day for him as well. And these Scottish players, Farrell was there at the weekend, 2 weekends ago, watching the Ireland-Scotland game in Murrayfield. He's going to be looking at how funny, how fickle it is, how quickly round 2 Lions team, no Scots in there. It was just England and Ireland. But that's the game we're in.
Well, this
right?
is the game now.
This is the game.
This is the game. This is the biggest game for Gregor as well, because I think that this game then shapes his future.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. And then it builds in. Oh, listen, it's a huge game. I'm starting to worry about Wales, but let's put that somewhere else because I think Wales could be changing. I think I saw some stuff about what potentially their team's going to be this week and the changes that they're making, and with Matt Sherritt coming in. But focus on England. It is a huge game for players and coaching staff as well.
The history in this tournament between them two teams, I'm going to say, out of any game that's played, this is the most historic game. But this is the one. This is the game of the weekend, Game 3, pivotal moment in the tournament, like you said there.
Come on, the boys.
So where it goes, England lose this, okay, then it's a poor tournament for Steve. That French game was an outlier.
Yeah. Flip it round.
And then lose for Scotland, a loss for Scotland, and you go into that game against Wales, right? It were going to be better under Matt Sherritt. They're going to have Gareth Anscombe at 10. They could probably move Ben Thomas into his position of 12. There's going to be a better balance to that team. Max Llewellyn in there as well.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle against Ireland, but they're going to be better. And then from a Scotland perspective, we go to Paris. And regardless of what happens with the French, they probably beat the Italians. I don't want to write them off just yet. They drew against them last year at home.
I think it'll be closer than we think.
It'll be Italy are a lot better.
Yeah.
But you think from Scotland, if we limp into that game in Paris, we're fucked. You know, we beat England, we beat Wales. It's fucking coming home.
Mate, and I'll tell you another thing. Depending on what happens with England this weekend, but I can see Wales beating England in the last game of the Six Nations at Principality.
Why are you smiling when you say that?
It makes me happy.
Look at you. The English fans are going to be hating you. Anyway,
Scottish.
let us know what you think. Comment underneath. I'm going for I'm going to say it. I'm going, now I've unravelled it, I'm going to go for Scotland 15, England 12.
Mate, I was literally saying Scotland by 3.
Well,
So I'm going to go slightly higher. Scotland 24, England 21.
There we go.
God, please don't pick this apart if the things we don't want to happen. And you can I could just see the memes of me doing that big build-up.
Like John Barkley. Yeah, I can see us beating South Africa at the World Cup. Next thing it blows up. It's on Chasing the Sun.
Hey, we put ourselves out there, Jimbo.
Hey, we've got to make a
life.
prediction. So I'm going Scotland 15, England 12, Finn Russell to get man of the match.
Yeah, I'm going Hugh Jones man of the match because I think he's going to score a couple of beauties.
And you had him on your show, Scrum to Scratch as well.
He was on more than
Anyway. So, was it More or Nothing?
Scrum to Scratch.
Oh, yeah, it was More or Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was More or Nothing and in the gym. I like that in Glasgow. Anyway, please subscribe to the show, comment, and do all of them things, and keep growing the show. The Big Jim Show.
The Big Jim Show.
Why are we doing this? Asian.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Yeah. Okay. Nehoma.
Manaka waka levu.
Nehoma.
Manaka waka levu.
Right. Boom.